Summary of the book The Desire Factor: How do you accept your material nature in order to regain your full spiritual strength? Written by Christy Whitman. Desires are a basic drive for all human beings who are capable of dreaming and imagining, and they are a natural human tendency which we should not be ashamed of or judge ourselves for. When we invite our desires to inspire our thoughts and actions, we can imagine a better future for ourselves, one in which we are improved versions of who we are now. In that future, we find ourselves connected to our spiritual truth, headed on a clear and defined path, and fully at peace with what is going on around us. This book offers us answers to the questions that occupy our minds when we see others living a comfortable life, wondering about the amazing secret that might be behind those successes. What makes a person finally achieve what he desires? How does he search for his happiness and pursue his goals without misery? What distinguishes those who move from success to success, full of energy and confidence, from those who sit in regret and regret? For the missed opportunities, you will find that the answers are summarized in 6 universal principles that give you the ability to achieve your desires, as we know them. Chapter 1. Source energy is the source of all types of cosmic energy, including human internal energy. All the energy in the universe stems from one source called source energy, where all the vibrations that direct the events of the universe are emitted and place within us the spiritual nature that guides us on the journey of life. Each of us has control over the potential energy that emanates vibrations to the universe at every moment of our lives, whether we are aware of it or not. And when our latent energy, in true alignment with source energy, our ability to give is at its highest level. When you realize the necessity of these twins, your sovereignty over the energy within you will take another form, because it is an extension of the source energy that creates everything, and your physical body that moves on the earth is a machine in which that upper energy is emitted, but the existence of this energy being inexhaustible does not mean that everyone knows how to exploit it well. It is all about aligning your personal energy with that higher energy. We can view source energy as a ray of light emanating within us and emerging as the reality we see. Therefore, psychologists describe truth as subjective, as it is only a reflection of the lens placed inside us. We can change the position of that lens a little so that we can change our reality, and thus we know the first cosmic principle, which is the principle of alignment with the energy of the source. What might the second principle be? Chapter 2. The principle of focus is what enables you to correctly understand the law of attraction. After aligning our energy with the source energy, we must know how to properly direct it towards fulfilling our desires. Many of us may think that just thinking about what we desire will bring us to it immediately. This is a common misunderstanding of the law of attraction, which requires thinking about your desire and then working to achieve it. Focusing on what you want requires focusing on why you want it, and not just that. In your lack of him and your desperate need for him. In every situation we encounter in pursuit of our desires, we have the choice to look at the many possibilities that may exist in that situation, or we can take a view of loss and need towards what we want. And in order to be able to look at those possibilities, we must learn to counteract feelings of danger, threatening, and looking at everything as an opportunity to make a mistake or to make the right choice. Each of us is free to choose our path of focus, and this is what separates people from each other in their different reactions to life events. The moment you choose what you already have, and what feeling you are looking to achieve. In that desire, you will discover that you already have a lot, and if you decide to look toward the future, you can start putting the energy you want to harvest into it. Thus, we are prepared to know the third principle. Chapter 3. The principle of happy expectations helps direct our energies toward positive things. In our path towards our desires, the principle of happy expectations tells us that we can rely on our feelings as a compass that points us in the right direction in several attempts by scientists to quantify feelings. It was found that human feelings emit energy vibrations over a wide range, so light feelings, such as joy, love, and reassurance, emit a high frequency of energy. Whereas heavy emotions, such as laziness, frustration, and depression, may emit such slow frequencies of energy that they may literally immobilize a person. Based on the above, if you find yourself in a position where you feel positive emotions when you are on your way towards your desire, you can be reassured that you are in the right direction. However, if you find yourself in a pool of negative emotions, you may want to review your path and position. For your dreams. One of the reasons people feel these feelings on the way to their desires is what we call the loss view. Whoever takes this view focuses only on his lack of that desire and falls victim to despair, as everything seems to stand in the way of his success. The fourth chapter promotes possession and love, holding on to desire and sacrificing for it. The fourth principle, which is possession, states the practical part of the law of attraction, which is that we attract what is produced rather than what is already present in our mentality. If the energy you emit into the universe is I desire, then what it will bring is more desire and lack. This mentality makes it far removed from what is happening around us. If we desire something that we cannot conjure, our feelings of frustration and despair increase. Because our feeling is linked to the thing we will get, and not to the feeling we are looking for behind the desire generated within us. If you look more deeply, you will find that you are already experiencing this feeling in many details that did not occur to you before. The principle of possession frees you from being tied to the material things you desire, to look beyond that desire and how it will lead you to your spiritual truth. As for the fifth principle, it is the principle of love, which tells us that we can think about our desires, just as we think about a person we love, given that those we love are people with whom we are similar in energy, and in our relationship with them we do the best we can, for love is one of the most important ties that can bind between you and what you want. Feelings of love attract similar light vibrations. Therefore, being reassured by the feeling of love makes you easier to be attracted to your desire, and makes the energy of your desire closer to you. The principle of love brings you closer to your desires on a heart level. It makes you ready to sacrifice in order to transform them from a mere fantasy into a reality that you can touch. This is not an easy task. Rather, it requires conscious effort to move from a state of anxiety and anticipation to a state of reassurance and tranquility. We have finally arrived at the sixth universal principle, so what do you think it will be? Chapter 5, the principle of surrender, means that you surrender to your desire, and this is what will encourage you to achieve it. If you are on the path of pursuing your desire, you must be certain that this journey will lead you towards your higher self. When you surrender to that desire, and what it leads you to, you will find yourself surrounded by good opportunities instead of the obstacles that you previously saw in the real world. It is necessary to go through crises and tribulations that contradict our desires, but in the world of the law of attraction, as long as you put your full focus on reaching your desire and your belief in that, you will undoubtedly believe that all these tribulations, this journey will get you to that desire. You must abandon the stereotypical image of your dream and accept the sudden changes that may meet you on the way, as they may make you a better version of a human being, or they may change your path towards a better result than you expected, or even change your outlook towards that desire completely. Applying the 6 principles we mentioned above, it will naturally result in physical work and effort directed towards your desires and dreams. The seed of desire that you planted inside you will be nourished by all the love, surrender, ownership, and happy expectations you fed it with until it matures or produces the fruits of the effort you put in during that journey. The source energy inspires us to carry out these directed actions and always tells us that we deserve the prosperous life that we dream of if we can communicate with that energy and leave it to guide us. This generated impulse does not bow down to obstacles and does not find in the circumstances around it an opportunity to retreat and surrender to the course. It is an energy driven by pure desire. To know our spiritual truth and what those desires that suddenly arise within us have in store for us. A notable paragraph from the book. When adverse events appear to us, and we feel stressed, frustrated, hopeless, and afraid, these feelings indicate to us that our external reality is not compatible with our inner desire that is dear to us. Then, we can act in one of two ways. We can focus on what feels wrong, or the outlook that tells us we can't get what we want, or we can use the clarity of these adverse events to sharpen our focus and recalibrate our point of attraction. Conclusion. When you go through this enjoyable journey with all its successes and disappointments, you will discover that all of the above will not be a guarantee of reaching your material desires. Reaching desires may generate within you some momentary joy, and when the true meaning behind that desire generated within you is revealed to you, you will find that the physical appearance of that desire will not be important compared to its moral depth. What you are looking for behind every desire born within us, a lesson and wisdom that leads us towards our higher selves that transcend the barriers of physical bodies. A prosperous life will only be achieved for our days when we live with us.